Hello, everyone. We are team or group number 4, and our team is composed by Berly Victoria Ruiz Peralta, Joan Gabriel Castillo. We have Edison Trejo Polanco, Jose Jorge Ascensión Vargas, and me, Nayeli Cristal Ferreira Jaques. So today we are so happy that because we are going to be talking with you. What is the grammar translation method? Because this is such important method for teaching languages. So before starting directly with the presentation, we will give you an introduction about it. So you know that when we talk about grammar translation method, you know that the grammar, it is the structure of a language. The translation is when we want to talk from one language to another. And a method, it is an organized way to do something in order to accomplish a goal. So all teaching methods, you can watch it here in the tip in the screen. All teaching methods were created for making the learning a new language process an easier and a more productive process for students as well as teachers. So you must know that none of the teaching methods is better than another one. All of them are useful for any teaching or learning occasion. So some expressions that you will be listening to us speaking are GTM, that means grammar translation method. And when you hear that we talk and we say target language, we are referring to the English because this is the target language right now. And the native language is when we will be talking about Spanish. So Berly is the next person and she will be talking about what is the grammar translation method. Yes.
The grammar translation method is like the name says. It's used for translation words, text, interactive goods, study, and the most used to get a communication with another person between the target language to the native language. And the grammar and translation are used in this method. The student use this method to translate whole text, word for word. In this method, there are two goals enabled. A student to read and translate literature written in the source language. A method for French or second language teaching, which makes use of translation and grammar study as the main teaching and learning activity. It was first used in teaching the classical language of Latin and Greek. This method involving very little spoken communication and listening comprehension. The primary skills to be improved are reading and writing skills. And now my partner is going to talk about the method.
Well, let me tell you some facts about the grammar translation method, and I'm going to start with characters. Focus reading and writing, use vocabulary words. Little or not attention is given to pronouns. The advanced read literature writing in the target language. Objective to be able to translate from one language to other. And now I'm going to talk about the history. History is very important because we can know how it was created and who create this method. Well, do you know that the American translation method is a method created by Lessing Freeman at the end of the 18th centuries in Prussia? The American method on translation was modeled as the system that was used for the teaching of Latin and Greek. This method has had various names and has been used by language teachers for many years. One of the names was classical method. How, how was it created? The main objective of the method is to learn a language to read at the beginning of 20 centuries, this method was used with the purpose of helping students to read and appreciate the literature in foreign language. Barnett Barnett is continuing.
So I'm gonna be talking about how to apply the grammar translation method. In this method, the teacher usually have the students to translate a word test word for word and memorize grammatical rules as well as set of words. This method relies on the activity of reading and translating text. The teachers provide some techniques associated with the grammar translation method. One of those are translation. In this part, students have to translate a test on target a language to their native language. The second one is reading comprehension, and that is very important because the student needs to answer some question about the information based on the test that they are learning. And the third one is use word to make sentence. The student are gonna be making some sentence to create and to describe words that they have just learned. My partner Nayeli is gonna be continuing with the time.
Yes. So in my part, I have to introduce you a video about the grammar translation method in which a teacher, which is me, who is me, I'm gonna be giving a class to students using the grammar translation method. So remember what Burley said at the beginning of the video, that the grammar translation method is when we teach using the translation. I mean, I say something in Spanish, the students will say something in English. So Burley will be presenting this video. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. So yes. Perfect. ¿Cómo digo retorcer? Retorcer. To twist. ¿Cómo? To twist. Calentamiento. Warm. ¿Cómo se dice? Warm. ¿Cómo de hinchazón? Sweating. ¿Cómo se dice hinchazón? Sweating. Una hinchazón. A sweating. Yo tengo un hinchazón. I have a sweating. ¿Cómo se dice tobillo? Ankle. ¿Cómo? Ankle. ¿Uncle o ankle? Ankle. ¿Cómo digo lastimarse? Injured. ¿Cómo? Injured. ¿Y yo me lastimé? I injured. ¿Cómo se dice moretón? Bruise. ¿Cómo? Bruise. Yo tengo un moretón. I have a bruise. Yo tengo un moretón en la pierna. I have a bruise in the legs. ¿Cómo se dice ampolla? ¿Cómo? Una ampolla. Dos ampollas. Yo tengo dos ampollas. I have two blisters. ¿Cómo se dice culpar? ¿Cómo? To blame. ¿Cómo se dice culpar? To blame. Yo culpo. I blame. Yo te culpo. I blame you. Tú culpas. You blame. Tú me culpas. You blame me. ¿Cómo se dice infectar? Infect. Infectar. Infect. Yo me he infectado. I have infected. ¿Cómo digo boca? Mouth. Tu boca. Your mouth. Mi boca. My mouth. Labios. Lips. Tus labios. Your lips. Nariz. Nose. Mi nariz. My nose. Tu nariz. Your nose. ¿Cómo se dice mejilla? Cheek. ¿Cómo? Cheek. Cheek o cheek? Cheek. ¿Cómo se dice? Cheek. Mi mejilla. My cheek. Bésame la mejilla. Kiss me. Kiss me. Kiss me in the cheek. ¿Cómo se dice mandíbula? How. How o yaw? Yaw. Yaw. ¿Cómo digo dedos? Fingers. Dos dedos. Two fingers. Tres dedos. Three fingers. ¿Cómo se dice jalar? Pull. Jala. Pull. Yo jalo. I pull. Jala la puerta. Pull the door. ¿Cómo se dice brazos? Arms. Brazos. Arms. Dos brazos. Two arms. ¿Cómo se dice hombros? Shoulders. ¿Cómo se dice piernas? Legs. Piernas. Legs. Legs. ¿Cómo se dice golpear? To hit. Yo golpeo. I hit. Yo golpeo la pelota. I hit the ball. ¿Cómo yo digo músculos? Muscle. ¿Cómo? Muscle. ¿Cómo se dice cuello? Neck. ¿Cómo? Neck. Yo tengo un moretón en el cuello. I have a bruise in my neck. Gracias, ¿cómo dice? ¿Cómo se dice pecho? Chest. ¿Cómo? Chest. ¿Cómo se dice pecho? Chest. Chest. ¿Cómo puede decir codo? Elbow. ¿Cómo? Elbow. Un codo. Elbow. Dos codos. ¿Cómo se dice disparar? To shoot. ¿Disparar? To shoot. Yo disparo. I shoot. Tú disparas. You shoot. Él dispara. He shoots. ¿Cómo se dice rodilla? Knee. ¿Cómo? Knee. Mi rodilla. My knee. Tu rodilla. Your knee. Una rodilla. My knee. Dos rodillas. Two knees. Tres rodillas. Three knees. ¿Cómo se dice oído, oreja? Ear. Yo tengo una infección en la oreja. I have an infection in the ear. ¿Cómo se dice muslo? Muslo. Thigh. ¿Cómo? Thigh. ¿Cómo? Thigh. Bien dicho. ¿Cómo se dice sentido? Sense. El sentido. Sense. Mi sentido. My sense. Tus sentidos. Your sense. La vida no tiene sentido. The life doesn't have sense. Someterse a una cirugía. To undergo surgery. Yo me someto a una cirugía. I undergo surgery. Yo me someteré a una cirugía. I will undergo surgery. Yo me voy a someter a una cirugía. Así. Yo me voy a someter a una cirugía. Go to a surgery. Well done. That's everything.
Before, my name is Edison. I'm going to continue talking about grammar translation method. For me, the purpose of the grammar translation method is to develop reading and writing skills in a foreign language. Also, one of the objectives of the grammar translation method is to allow students to produce their own tests and to be able to correct someone who is not using the rules on the language. We have some example right here. I have three colors. In English, we say the first one red. So if we don't have a good pronunciation sometimes when we are speaking with English speakers, so we're gonna have problems. So that's why it's better if we try to have their own pronunciation like them. In the middle, we have yellow. This is one of the most beautiful colors that we have in English. And the last one is blue. Some people, they have different problems when we are talking about colors, when we are using different rules. That's why we have to make sure when we are working, when we are speaking with English speakers, so we have to make sure that we are using the correct way. The grammar translation method is important for students to memorize the grammatical rules, the vocabulary of the language to be learned. For example, they must identify the subject, the verb, the complements in one sentence. For example, if I say the cat is sleeping, in this case, students must know how to identify the subject in all the sentences, the verb, and the complement, to be able to translate these sentences for our native language to American speakers. And finally, when we are learning our English idiom, so grammar translation method is following advanced, having a good job, meeting people to another nationality, and for the last one, being able to good develop in the language. So pay attention to us talking about grammar translation method. I hope you like our video. Thank you so much.